ID. It's me 5 at the door. Alright. Alright, you're good. You go inside. Good morning, everyone. It's Christian here. I have members of a band. Now I gotta this is one of those long names. Now everyone write this down. The Goalies Anxiety at the penalty kick, because I think everyone needs to know about this band. And I've got 3 members right here, and more members might join. Y'all are taking this emo revival thing to a completely other fucking level, y'all. Like, it's so sick. It's emo revival. Like, it's all back and forth together forever. And, it's so nice to hear y'all. So, why doesn't everyone introduce themselves?
Okay, I'll go.
We're all so polite. We're like, please, you go first.
Yeah, so I'm Michael Foster. I play bass in this band. I'm probably the one most people interact with on Twitter, and I get to sing on one song on this album, which I'm very proud of.
Yes, let's go.
Sounds great. I guess I'll go next. I'm Stone, and I sing and I play keyboard on Goalie, and I wrote 2 of the songs for the new album, which I'm really happy about. And I run the Instagram account, so if you're DMing us or posting memes, it's me that's reposting them.
Oh, okay. I love it. I kind of like that because there's so many members of this band, everyone can kind of handle one social media at a time.
Yeah, we all also sort of hate social media, so it's like, the burden of it has to fall on someone, but it's fun, we all have a realm.
Ben jumps on the Twitter sometimes, or if somebody references a weird band that I don't know, I'll text Ben and be like, hey, why don't you take this one?
Hi everybody, I'm Al or Alyssa, and I play the drums for the Goalie. I also play percussion. There's a triangle hit. That's me.
Let's go.
And yeah, I play the bells and the vibraphone, and I don't run any social media because I'm bad at that.
Love that for you.
Incredible.
You're out there real life social media thing though.
Yeah.
You're like the one going to gigs and sending emails and stuff.
Living in Gmail is not necessarily a social social network. It's like the business social network. It's that is one.
Yeah, it counts. I'd say it counts.
Totally.
We've got to make a official Goalie LinkedIn now.
Oh God.
Here's what DIY can teach you about business to business.
When I entered, the end of my tour, this is what I learned about AI
Oh God.
So y'all are you all based in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
everyone
cool.
but Ben.
Okay, cool. So when it comes to large bands like this, bands are kind of herding cats in itself. So when it comes to having a large fucking band and large fucking band members, how did this all start? And what has kept this thing going?
Well, if I may. So Ben had a vision for this band, and Ben and I used to work together a long time ago at a bookstore. And Alyssa actually worked 1 block away at the coffee shop that we would spend every day at. Multiple times a day we would get coffee, and so we sort of all met that way. And yeah, Ben really wanted to make this project, and we all signed on. And I think any band really needs one person to just be like, this is the deadline, this is the goal, and I want it to happen, so I'm going to tell you all where to be, you know, when.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God, yeah, he does that because it's super hard to do, I think, for most projects. But yeah, and he, I think, Mike, you and Ben were friends separately, right? I forget how you guys.
Yeah, so Ben, he knew my then girlfriend, now wife at the time, and I feel like I told this story for like the last time when we released Ways of Hearing, like Ben, like I would hang out with him and he would be like, man, I sure wish I knew somebody who played bass. And I played guitar at the time and I was like, well, you know, translatable skill, but, you know, eventually he just kind of wore me down and was like, I'll jam with you guys one time and see what this is about. And it ended up being a lot of fun. And, here we are 2 albums later. I was using Stone's bass for like, I didn't have my own bass for a while because I played guitar, right? So I was using Stone's bass for like a year or 2 of like the start of this band.
That's real though. That I've done that before, going translatable from like guitar to bass, and like I didn't have one, so it's like I'll do it. Just someone lend me theirs.
Yeah, now I like predominantly play bass. Like I play bass in my own band now, and I don't know. I think my current bass is probably like the best instrument I own in terms of quality.
Now all of y'all have coming together for a project like this always is again, it's very, very intense. It's very cool. But did y'all were in bands before to kind of understand what it took to do a large, you know, group of people band? Is this everyone's first or like second or third?
I'll take that one. I'll start. The Goalie was my first band, actually. Before that, I did a lot of like classical music.
All right, hell
like,
yeah.
Yeah, I was playing with like orchestras and chamber ensembles. So I was used to kind of playing in a big group, but I hadn't played any drum set. And it was a really cool experience. Like, honestly, taught me to kind of loosen up a little bit. And also just like the collaborative, aspect of, you know, writing parts together and working on music. It was a lot different than like playing some like Beethoven or whatever, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. It's really, really cool.
I just want to also say that Al is a master percussionist. So when they say it's their first band, they were very primed to be excellent at it. I remember they were like really like, I don't know, not sure that how they do. And then they came over for like the first band practice or whatever. And they used my like janky drum set and they just like rock, you know, like immediately they know how to do it. You know what I mean? But yeah, they've gone on to do a bunch of other projects too. I have been in a bunch of random bands, but I think Goalie was the first one that, you know, because like I said, someone just has to take charge and be responsible. And I think a lot of people I know, including myself, just aren't good at being the leader of that. So, but yeah, every band is going to be so different. You know?
I completely agree. I think that there's like something that happens within the first, like it requires, I don't know how many times everyone's been a part of like, yeah, no, we're going to do this. We're going to totally do this. And it fizzles out. Yeah. Like that is the, like, I'd say 1% of bands actually make it through that and like you make it to a first practice. And then it's even a smaller percentage that make it to the first recording. Like it's very funny.
Totally.
Goalie's like my millionth band, but I wouldn't say I've had like tremendous musical success. I just like playing music. So I just kind of start stuff and it either fizzles out or goes somewhere. So I'm glad Goalies made it to 2 albums.
Yeah. Also, like, you know, congrats y'all. Like 2 albums is pretty huge. That's so sick.
Yeah, Thank you. I never realized like it's like really hard to write it out. Like I don't do a lot of the song like skeletal songwriting, right? Like I come in to put like meat on the bones of the songs, and like I don't know. Good on Stone and Ben for writing so many songs, because like I'm trying to write songs for my own band now, and it's like, all right, I just got to do it. And
yeah, that's it. That is all. It's like staring at an instrument and going, okay.
It's, I don't know. It's kind of rough.
No, I completely get that. I think the songwriting thing, again, it's like, it's all hurdles. It's all like, okay, cool. We can all get together and like focus on this. Everyone's kind of chosen a captain. There's like, getting the first show, learning how to use email. There's all these crazy little things. Let's even take this even further back. Y'all have been practicing. Was it 6 members kind of like from the get-go?
Yeah. I know there's some lore online. Some people will be like 6 or 7, and there's like this gray area. But I think it's because our violinist changed very early on.
Cool.
And each time we played a show, sometimes there would be one different person, or in the beginning it hadn't gelled yet, so people weren't really sure. But yeah, it's been about 6 people.
That's so cool. Now, after rehearsals, after like getting this set together, because people have been in previous bands before, and also Philly is kind of legendary within the last 15 years of like playing this, this emo revival, this kind of thing that you're all doing. Was it pretty easy to like hop on some house show and just be like, hey, is there room on the stage for 6 people? We got this thing.
Yeah, I feel like if you want to play a show in Philly, there's always somewhere you can, you just need to talk to people, and there's always somebody who's really nice and has a space or wants to have you there. I think the hardest thing was just physically fitting in someone's basement. We take up a lot of space, but we did it, early on, and there's so many spaces to play in Philly.
Yeah, I think that as a person in Nashville, where, everyone says Nashville is music city, I think it's more like music business city. But I think there's kind of like this, there's this golden light that kind of shines around Philly where it just feels like it's, dude, there's
not
something.
Enough people say that.
I think Philly has, my introduction to like the Philly music scene was modern baseball. I think that's kind of like a lot of people's introduction to the whole thing. When I was a lot younger, listening to Empire kind of brought me back to like listening to this kind of stuff again. Being an obsessive modern baseball person, like back in the day, I was like, okay, anyone that they're playing with, I want to listen to them. And, I just started like just looking up Philly bands, and what's in the fucking water there? There are so many incredible musicians. And I think that Philly's music scene is just like so intense, and it feels, it's so intense, but it doesn't feel oversaturated. It's just like, hey, look, we could take even more. Let's keep fucking going.
Oh yeah.
That's
the brotherly love.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's the cheesesteaks, but it's definitely not.
No, that's so sick.
Yeah.
I love everything about kind of what y'all are doing, and listening to this record. Like I've listened to it about 5 times, and it's like there's something still so intense. I think maybe it's the way that it's mixed or something, but it's, as a person that, listens to like such, like I try to listen to everything, but I listen to usually like, a lot of loud fucking emo music. This is so precious, but it's still so very intense. Now I kind of like this idea. I don't want Ben to show up to this at all. I like the concept of Ben being like this fucking cult leader. Like that he gets like this, he is writing all this beautiful, amazing shit, and y'all are just like, yeah, no, this wonderful man we're following.
He's gonna love that.
Yeah. He would love to be here. I think it's a hard time for him in the day, but
I mean,
I texted him and he said, I was like, anything you want us to say on your behalf? And he goes, just that I'm at work, but I believe in you. And thanks for having us.
Oh my God, the through line is there. The through line is there. That's so funny. In kind of this cult leader status, was there a active choice to sound like this? Is this kind of like, the soft vocal, the guitars and everything kind of building around it? Like, is this a guy that grew up with like Empire and wanting to do all this thing again?
Oh, 1,000,000%. Literally,
definitely.
When he first told me about his vision for the band, he's like, I want to make a band that sounds just like Carissa's Wierd.
Literally, yeah.
Okay. And then it's so funny online when people are like, they sound exactly like Carissa's Wierd. and it's just like mission success, I guess. But, inevitably you take from bands you love and then it changes, so. But yeah, it was extremely intentional. He's very...
I love that. It sounds it sounds very, very like, I like that there's a captain. I think that there's this whole, I think it's so necessary for the success of like, before like the perpetual motion machine kind of occurs, because there's always a moment where you're like, okay, cool, this band is kind of like moving on its own now. And to get it to there requires like a lot of attention in the beginning. And so, when y'all released that first record in 2020, Ways of Hearing, again, beautiful record. Did y'all want to keep going and like do this thing? Cause like, I feel like sometimes it's like, cool, bucket list, first record is out. And then it's like, okay, fuck, do we make another one? Like, what are we doing?
I think we signed up for 2.
Okay, cool.
Sorry. Professionally, I'm a lawyer, so in law school, when I looked over our Count Your Lucky Stars contracts, I was just like making sure we could like feasibly hit everything in there.
Okay, hell yeah. That's also very, very interesting. Signing up, sometimes, it's just, I think like at specific levels, they're like, hey, cool. We'll just put out this record. You've been sending it to you've been shopping it around. They're like, cool. Yeah, we'll put this out. That's so sick that, Keith was like, did he ask if you had plans for a second one or was he like, give me 2?
Yeah. When he talked about signing us, he wanted it to be for 2 albums specifically.
Cool.
Which is really nice. We were all like, okay, great. I guess we'd love to do a second album. And it was awesome. Because then we legally had to. And that made the push really happen. And, we love it.
I think that's really interesting as well, but where, y'all are the first person that I've talked to, people that I've talked to that, had that the kind of situation where there was a kind of like this dotted album where it's like this empty space that needed to be filled rather than something else like, hey, we're going to do another one. Do you want to participate in this record as well? Do you think that because there was a almost a push part of kind of a job to make a full second record. Do you think that affected any kind of the artistic quality of it, or was it just kind of like, cool, the adrenaline's already pumping, let's like just keep fucking going?
I think so. I've been looking at like old interviews we did from when we released Ways of Hearing, and there's like some stuff Ben says like, oh yeah, like we already have a couple songs for LP2 and
cool.
Or whatever it's going to be. So I think Ben was already in the mindset for going for a second release. I mean, like every other bassist in the world, I'm kind of just like along for the ride to chill.
Sure.
But, I was like, all right, well, whatever, I'm here. I can do a second one. We're all around. I don't know, Stone, were you writing songs at that time that you were intending to be Goalie songs later? Cause I remember we had the ones that ended up becoming LP2 songs for like a little bit. So,
sorry, my Wi-Fi is a little funny. But yeah, I feel like I'm honestly, it's funny. Just earlier when you were talking about songwriting, like, looking at the blank page or whatever, and it being really hard. Like, I feel like my brain is just constantly writing. Like, I'm just like, it's like the way that I process reality and like experience emotional catharsis. And I'm just like always writing stupid stuff. And I remember when we started working on the second album and I like talked to Ben about it, I was like, I want to bring some songs in. So I did. I was like thinking about Goalie, specifically trying to write a song for this project. And that was really awesome. I definitely would have maybe, I don't know, if we hadn't had the green light for the second album, it's hard to say like how things would have turned out. But the push was really helpful. And I'm really glad for the, you know, any creative project that has limits on it, I feel like you always flourish more than if it's just very open-ended.
I completely agree. I think guardrails are definitely kind of essential sometimes for like, and that's where captains, you know, come in, or that's where the cult leaders come in, where it's like they can, that's where they set those guardrails for y'all. It's like, hey, let's do this. Like, or they're presenting all this stuff. And then that's where it gets into the kitchen and y'all are starting to cook together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say one thing, like to Ben's credit, as a good coach, very sports coded. I feel like the first album was like Ben was like, "This is my idea. I want to sound like Carissa's Wierd," and some of us, like I said, it was our first band or first record, and so we kind of did that. That was like our origin album, and then we released that, and I feel like just the process of making that album and like people liking it, built, for me, it built up my confidence as to like bringing my voice to the band. So I feel like, you can really hear that in the second album. Like Ben is, he's a great coach. He's like, here are the guidelines, but also like I picked you guys, I wanted you guys in my band for a reason. So bring your voice to it, bring your weird triangle, bring like your own songs, and he just kind of let us do that. Which I think you can really hear that on the second album. You can hear like all of us coming together and really putting our ideas in it, which I think is really cool.
I think it's so cool too, because I think that it's like, I don't think there's any other, artistic expression than music where we're all coming together and doing this thing. Like, I think it's so fucking crazy. And then there's like the German word that describes this. There's going to be some kind of weirdo way to describe what it's like to make music together, where like, when you're practicing and, you're staring, everyone's kind of looking at each other and looking at hands and like trying to be on time together and inventing new parts on the spot and seeing how things work. It's just a very, very strange thing to play music with others. And I think in the DIY space alone, you get to get the closest to that. And I think that's one reason why I like to talk to DIY bands specifically, because I think that there is something really, really cool about separating yourself from the life that you're living, to do this second thing. And that kind of brings me to this thing that I like to talk to everyone about, is what do y'all do for a living?
All right. Well, so I'm a lawyer, but I actually don't practice law anymore. I work in like a kind of consulting capacity right now.
Cool.
Which has made it significantly easier to continue pursuing music. Practicing law, got to be a little busy. I was actually like, when we were recording, I had to like, I don't know, make a bunch of arrangements with my old firm so I can be like, look, I just need like 5 hours from 4 p.m. to like, 9 p.m. I didn't stay at the studio that long, obviously, but like, to just like record, and my bosses were, you should be billing, all this shit. It was like, practicing law fucking sucks for anybody that was thinking about doing that is listening to this.
Oh my God, that's so fucking funny. There's this huge joke right now of this guy. Have you guys ever heard of a band called Red Sun?
Mm-hmm.
There's this new band in Red Sun. These guys are like kids. These guys are like 22, 23, maybe 21. And they're doing great, like twinkly guitar stuff. Like it's the new wave Gen Z emo shit. And he is the main guy is trying to be a lawyer as well. So I'm going to tell him exactly what you told me.
You know what? I've seen these guys on Twitter. I haven't listened to them yet, but I've seen them. But tell them to I don't know. There's like a way you can practice. I don't want this to be like the law podcast, right? But there's like ways you can practice law that like don't basically swallow up your life. But I think for the first couple of years of practice, you're going to be at a firm or like working for the state or something. And it's just going to be like, I don't know, kind of a shit show. But somebody else, I'll eat up like so much time talking about this, but somebody
that's
else
still sick though. I'm glad that's Rick. It's an exciting thing, and you were able to transfer and pivot into something that works well, so you can live these kind of two separate things at the same time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right now I'm bartending.
Hell yeah,
money.
that's still sick.
Yeah, we all need money somehow. So I make beverages.
Do you still feel like it's time? It's still like the thing where like it's very flexible for you, and like this works, being able to do these kind of separate lives thing.
Oh, Kristy, so good of you to ask. Yeah. It works. It is very flexible. I love my job. I love the people there. Right now I'm a little bit more overloaded than I should be with my schedule for some reason. I'm working too much, but that's okay. I'm planning some vacations. Al and I are planning some vacations together. And it is super flexible. And I think there's a reason why doing music and like service work kind of overlap so much, because you really can just be like, bye, I'm leaving for a month or whatever, and they're okay with that. Yeah, I like it.
Sick.
Yeah, I still owe you a visit.
I know, you need to come visit. I'll make you a beverage. Come on.
Perfect.
I know. If you're ever in Philly, I'll make you a beverage too, Chris.
I will reach out. I love some new shit. I literally have a Fernet tattoo on my leg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That is like my go-to like drink. I was never a bartender. My wife worked in like fine dining, so I hung out with a bunch of chefs and and so like that service industry, I just love those people. Do I think I could do that job? Probably not. I don't know. Y'all are talented to be able to handle that kind of shit. But I do work, my job, I work customer service for an app. So I work at home and I talk to, just angry people. That's my whole thing. So we're kind of similar. We're kind of similar in certain cases.
Yeah, I also bartend at the same bar as Stone.
Hell yeah! Boom, done.
Yeah.
Not as much, but yeah, I bartend and then I teach a bunch of like music lessons to small children.
Yes, that's so sick. Most people have like a foot in, like into the thing still, so they still feel like even when they're not on tour, they're not recording, they're not writing, that they have like a thing still in music.
Yeah, I do that, and then I gig a lot. I play drums for like a lot of bands, and so just a lot of music teaching and bartending.
So humble, Alyssa. I feel like you got to shout them all out.
Oh my god!
Shout out your bands.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. So the bands I'm in, like full time are the Goalie, this another band, Live the Least. It's like art, electronic pop.
Hell yeah.
Also a band with Stone, Trudy.
Yeah.
Cool. And then, right now I'm playing with, another Michael, another band out of Philly. I've been like touring with them a little bit. And I can't think of anything else. Am I forgetting anything, Mike?
Singular Brett Boyd.
I think that's everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And I
love that.
I also teach the percussion ensemble at Haverford College, which is so funny because I just walk in looking like this and everybody's like, "Are you a student?" And I'm like, "No, I'm a professor." It's really funny. We just did a Bela Fleck arrangement last night. We had a concert. We played like banjo arrangement in this like classical music concert. It rocked.
Dude,
that's cool.
I love that you get to experience like all sorts of stage performance. Like you do bars, you do house shows, you do all that stuff, and you also do big recitals.
Oh yeah.
That's so sick.
You know, I'm prepared. I'm prepared for anything. Whatever you want.
That's incredible. So basically we're getting kind of to the end of the thing. I wanted to play a song from the record that was released. Is there any kind of like hold on single, like everything can come out? Like there's nothing like weird.
Oh yeah, we're all set. Records out there.
All right, hell yeah. It's first of all, what song would you like to play?
Well, I was excited to hear what your favorite was.
All right, hold on. I pulled it up. It's the 5th song. Wild Rose I love that song.
Hell yeah. Wild Rose is also my favorite.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, actually, I will play it, but everyone give me their favorite.
Yeah, my favorite is Tightrope Walker.
Cool.
Just because I mean, I feel like I've listened to our album like a billion times now to the point where I just can't decipher it anymore. Like it just becomes a wash to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I spent so much of my brain on that song that it feels so good to listen to. But I also love Mr. Settled Score. That song really rocks. And I love Mike's screaming vocals at the end. I want every song to have that, honestly.
We'd have a completely different fan base.
I know.
I think that's something. I think this record has everything for everyone. Like 10 songs, like what is it, 50 minutes? Like there's a minute for at least every single person in every genre of music that will love this fucking record. I love it. Here, I'm gonna play. Here's Wild Rose.
Hold up, Alyssa, what's your favorite?
Oh yeah, shit.
My favorite. I think I said this on the Bandcamp party, but I think April 25th, just because like I feel
it's
like
so beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like the drum part, like writing that drum part with Ben, was really fun. I took it way too intense. I had this whole vision, and Ben was like, "Cool." I was like, "I really want to be like this," and he was like, "Whatever you want." And yeah, and I think it's just really cool. There's a lot of like ideas on it.
Yeah,
and I think it really. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, I think it really does the goalie thing where we like have a really slow burn, and then we just break into like, you know, this big, powerful crescendo at the end, and feels very goalie.
Yeah, I remember our first practices writing that song. Christian, this goes to a point you made earlier, like about how like when you're in a band and you kind of hit that like synergy moment.
Yeah.
That I remember like April 25th was like coming up with the bass part, matching Alyssa's drums, like all of that was just like, oh shit, here we are. We're in the zone.
Yeah, I'm changing my fucking answer, by the way. We're going to play April 25th.
Yeah,
I think we should play April 25th just because you're right. I think it is like it is a quintessential goalie song.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So here is April 20. Oh, here. What were you guys saying?
Oh, I was just going to say, sorry, with Mike's comment, like I remember at the very end when I do the like kind of scream singing part, like that was very unchoreographed by everybody, but there was extra words at the bottom of the lyric sheet that Ben gave me, so I thought there was more to the song to sing, but there wasn't. But I just like, you know, it builds, and you just want it to build more and more. So I ended up singing it for like our first practice like that, and Ben was like, "Yeah, whatever that was, just keep doing that." Like so unplanned. We were just like, "Okay, cool. I guess it ends with that now."
I just love the lore, man. This not a lot. It's you go through this entire thing, and then the music's out, and then there's all these stories about like how this stuff fucking happens, and that's like I love getting in the middle of that. All right, here's April 25th by the Goalies Anxiety at the penalty kick.
No matter
All right, that was April 25th. I wish this was coming out April 25th. Actually, did everything come out on April 25th? Was it like that?
Yeah, it was our album release date.
Okay, incredible. That's so fun.
Happy birthday, Keely.
Just thank y'all so much for coming in this digital space. Y'all are amazing. I got to come up to Philly and say hi at that bar that everyone works at.
Yeah,
Please do.
But we love
Thank
you
you,
guys.
Kristy.
We'll talk to you soon, okay?
thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
It was so fun.
Bye bye.